It's the first Ironman I finished in 365 days in a year. When I'm nervous for a race, it's really not even like I am nervous for the race. I'm nervous for the swim, you know, just because it's just had been so hard for me, so embarrassing, just a really big obstacle in my development, in my career. But now, like, yeah, I've been swimming with Sean and Holly's group. It's a great group. Sean's on deck multiple times a week. You know, I've got anywhere from 5 to 10 people that are all better than me that I'm swimming with every single day. Everyone's super inviting. So it's just been like fantastic for me. I think I am at that ability level, and I've showed in St. George and a few other races in the wetsuit, I can make that second pack that's like 90 seconds, 2 minutes down in a 70.3, 3 to 4 minutes down maybe in an Ironman in the wetsuit. I'm not quite strong enough yet to you know, maybe bridge that gap. I saw that in Eagleman. I swam a few seconds behind that Werf Jackson Laundry group. Here I was just a few seconds, like 18 seconds behind like the Colin Schutz, Leon Chevalier group at the first lap of the swim. So like when I hear out of the water, I'm like, you know, top 20, 5 minutes down from Marquardt, Hogan Hogg and Hansen, and you know, all the main contenders of the race. Like I'm not that far. I'm bridging the gap like closer and closer every time. It came out pretty much by myself, like about a minute behind that Leon group and all that. Saw your dad at the top of the hill, like 10 miles in. He said they were right up there. So I just, yeah, pushed pretty hard to bridge the gap, but I was nose breathing. Heart rate was low, watts were sky high. It was just, you know, one of those days. I'm just sitting in TT, you know, 400 watts with my eyes closed. It's just cake. And ended up bridging the gap pretty quickly. Caught Leon Lieferman, Colin Schutz, and maybe one other person in that group. Oh, Marquardt, obviously. And then, I don't know, just really didn't feel like hanging around. I'm just not used to riding with other people. I just like to do my own thing. I feel like when I sit back in the group, it's like I want to go faster. So yeah, I just pretty much just pulled us until we caught that Bradley Weiss group, Jason West group. I mean, there was like at one point like 10 guys, you know, 12 guys just sitting on my wheel as we started the big 20-mile climb back to town. Saw Hogan Hogg about, I don't know, 30 seconds up the road. Felt bad for Hogan Hogg, so I was like, he's gonna be pissed when he looks back and he sees me dragging a group of 20 some odd guys back up to the front. Yeah, so past like Robert Callan and Hogan Hogg, and I like yelled at those guys. I was like, dude, let's drop these guys. Like, there's two of the best riders in triathlon, and I think Robert Callan was just starting to get tired. Hogan Hogg was maybe a bit tired or wanted to back the run a bit more. We got to the top of the climb in Lake Placid, and I heard it was just like a group of 6 of us, and Jason West was like one of the last people to stay on the group. And personally, I don't want to run toe-to-toe with Jason West. He's one, if not the best runner in triathlon. So that's like, you know, going back, like some people were like, oh, why were you drilling it so much? And it's like, even if I sat in with Jason West, I don't know if I can run with him. I think I could, but I don't really want to take that bet. I'd rather get 10 minutes on the freaking guy. And I just continued to push. I felt good. I don't know. It's just not in my nature just to like sit in the group. And I don't know. Maybe when I get older, I'll sit in the group. But like, I wanna rip it. It's like a Prefontaine quote of like, I want to win the race. I want to win the race knowing I gave my best. I don't know, you could call me stupid, but I was having a hell of a time just absolutely ripping the pedals. When you get to the front of the race in these big Pro Series races with all these massive hitters, you got the police cars, you got the TV cameras, you got the motorcade, like the race just moves so much faster there. Like the mentality of everybody, obviously the roads are, you know, completely clean because you have the police officer cleaning the roads right ahead of you. Like, it's just the race. Like, you're just in the race. You're not having this, you know, you're sitting 4, 5, 6 minutes back, TT and doing, you know, 400 watts, hoping you're going to see someone around the next corner, just like wondering what's going on at the front of the race. You're in the race. Like, I didn't care about anything else but the lead of the race now. So like the whole mindset shifts when you're up there. You know what I mean? Right. And then yeah, then the last 10 miles of the run, of the bike, Marquardt went off and Hogan Hogg went off, and I was still doing something in the 300s power wise, and I was just trying to take on. I went through an aid station kind of slow, got some Morton gels, took those on.
They made a move.
they made a move. I don't know, maybe they wouldn't say it was a move. They probably made a bit of a move, right? But they only got at the end about a minute ahead of me, and I was like, it's fine. Like, we got a marathon. I ain't really worried about a minute. I'd rather on board a few more gels and some cola right now and kind of soft pedal into T2 and just get ready for the run battle. Ran out, heard I was about a minute back, had a good T2, was a minute back at a T2, knew the only guys up there were Hogan Hogg and Mark Watt, saw Sean, saw Sophie, so I was just gonna chill, I was gonna do my own thing. You know, I was just basically running 6 flats, which is pretty much the pace that I had run last year, it's the pace I was quite confident I could do in all day. So caught them around 5K in, and thought for a second, I was like, should I just run with Mark Watt? Should I just, you know, sit in and run with him? And I was just like, no, I don't want to run his stride. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to run side by side, mess him up, mess me up. Like, I'm just going to keep, I was feeling good. I just want to run my own stride. You know, I think at the end, the biggest lead I ended up getting was only like a minute. You know, it's not like I was running drastically faster. I was just doing my own thing and he was doing his, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird when you pass someone that slowly, because he was like, how you doing? I was like, I'm okay, how you doing? And so yeah, it was kind of funny. And yeah, then led the whole first lap of the run. We started the second lap of the run, so the last half marathon, last 13 miles of the run. Knew I was starting to not feel the best. Quads were starting to hurt, my hamstring was starting to cramp. Lights were definitely starting to shut off up top. You know, famous Lionel quote is, you know, no one ever gets to the half and goes, man, I wish I would have went faster. You know, everyone gets to the half and they're like, you know, this is where the race is. Like, as Crowley would say, this is the business end of the race. And yeah, so at that point I saw Sophie around 14 miles and I gave her the, like, you know, this is gonna be ugly. This is gonna be hard. And she just, you know, told me to, you know, suck it up and I'll see you in an hour. And so, yeah, so we headed out to River Road. I knew Mark Watt was coming. I don't know, he passed me around 16 miles in. And at that point I had went from pretty much like a light switch, 6 flats, 550s, 6.0s right there to, I think, 2 630s, and then just 7 highs, like 730, 740, 750. And the lights were off. I was just, legs were gone, in immense pain, hips were locked up. I was just head looking down, arms just shuffling. All uphill. It's all uphill the last 8 miles. And I have, you know, been known to drop out of races for one reason or another. You know, usually I have a pretty good excuse in my own head. Other people don't want to hear that, but whatever. Like, I knew I was at least going to finish the race. It was just going to be ugly. You know, I didn't have an injury or a mechanical or anything, you know, but it was just going to really hurt. And I'm just sitting there shuffling. I'm hitting a ton of Mortons, because that's the only thing on course. I'm hitting the Mortons. I'm hitting salt. And then I see Jason West and he is trucking. And I'm like, damn it. Like, he's going to, like, and then I see Leon. I mean, Leon and Jason were right there. I mean, I'm like, damn, I'm going to get 5th, 6th place. And, but then I ended up hitting the cola. I wanted to hit the cola earlier, the Coca-Cola. I was afraid to hit it too early because I didn't want to have tummy issues of taking in Coca-Cola and then having GI issues, having to stop in the portalette for a minute. So I was like, I'm going to hold off on that for as long as possible. Hindsight, for my next Ironman build, I am 100% going to incorporate using Coke on the run, because, I mean, that's just, like, you got to practice what's on the course, no matter what the circumstance. You only can carry so much of the nutrition you like, and for me, that's just salt pills and zone 2 gels and drink mix. But you only can carry so much of that. The last 8 miles, you can't have a backpack, you know what I mean? So I need to use Coke more in practice, so I'm confident. It sits in my stomach. Anyway, started hitting the Coke with like 4 miles to go. Leon was 90 seconds behind me. Within 2 minutes to hitting the Coke, I mean, I hit like 3 cups of it. Lights were back on. Legs still hurt like a mother, but lights came back on the head. Started getting in, and I passed Soph, and she yelled at me, fired me up, and Jason West was slowing down, and I was like, I think I can hold on to 3rd. I think I can. And then I ended up getting back down to like 630s, and I think my last mile was like 555. Came back to life. Saw Jason West. He was white as a ghost. He was done, so I knew he was done, but I knew Leon was still only about a minute behind me. And then ended up getting to the finish and, yeah, just securing 3rd place. I mean, I'm stoked with it. I mean, it was basically a career best swim, career best bike power, and, you know, on a hard run course after having 2 lifetime achievements in other sports, running a 246 flat. I mean, you know, in the beginning of the year, pretty much not training, had depression, dropped out of Texas, all this stuff. Like, I'm really happy with it. I mean, it's great. So what's next is I'm gonna do 70.3 Louisville in 3-4 weeks time. So we're gonna get back to Boulder here soon. Yeah, get back to some threshold work, get back to some high intensity work. Respect this week. I mean, I can't walk right now. I am done. I mean, it feels so good to like actually push yourself that hard, and I am like, it is painful to walk, and this is great. It's a great feeling. So yeah, I'll do 70.3 Louisville, and then we need to confirm the Nice travel. Yeah, we got the slot for that. I was the first non-qualified guy, so got the world champ slot. We need to figure out that. Might target a late season Ironman, try to get the early KQ, something like that. Not sure. And then some late season 70.3s, maybe 70.3 worlds, maybe a T100. Maybe we're gonna try to do Vegas, but that's no longer a thing. So I don't know. Yeah, thanks for everyone for cheering along. I mean, it was just, yeah, fantastic week. I always love coming back up here. And yeah, hopefully we can come back next year. Hopefully it's another pro race. Thanks for all the love and support, and see everyone in Louisville in 3-4 weeks.